Hey, it's Lee.
And I'm Cooper.
I don't know why I just sighed like that, but I did. I guess we're all sighing about a year into the pandemic, and it's starting to become uh, better for many businesses, better for landlords, but that means that the implications of what's happened over the last few months, the last year, are going to start to catch up to tenants who have been unable to pay their rent. And we're starting to see that. We're starting to see landlords suing tenants who they believe were in breach of their lease. We're seeing a number of defenses that we've spoken about before on our webinars. Some are successful, many are not. What we really want to talk about today is a law that was passed and then signed into law by the governor yesterday, which will have an impact on many small businesses in New York. Cooper, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that law.
Sure, yeah. So the bill that Lee is referencing is an amendment to the COVID Emergency Protection Act. And I'm sure many people have heard about these eviction moratoriums, both residential and commercial, that have existed really since the very beginning of the pandemic, and they keep getting pushed out. This specific bill that was passed yesterday, this new law, it pushes that out even further for commercial tenants. So there's a couple different nuances to it. So for businesses with 100 employees or less, they are now the eviction moratorium for those businesses will last until May 1st. Assuming they can show some kind of financial hardship. There's a declaration that they will have to fill out. Businesses with 500 or fewer employees that were closed for, I believe it's up to 2 weeks or more, pursuant to some kind of government order.
Which is basically every business, right?
Exactly. Those businesses will also have their eviction moratorium extended till May 1st as well. All other businesses that are unable to show financial hardship or that weren't closed for any reason, their eviction moratorium ends on March 24th. So coming up soon. So there has kind of been this. The deadline has been pushed out further and further. It does appear that for some businesses, the moratorium will really be coming to an end at the end of March, and maybe for some of these smaller businesses, it will get extended out further, but it is starting to feel like the moratoriums will end in the next couple months.
Yeah, and then I think there was a provision in the bill that limited self-help remedies. Can you just talk quickly about that?
Yeah, so the bill basically says that the only way you can evict someone during this time or after this time will be through the court system. So it bans any kind of self-help. It bans, a landlord who's frustrated and goes in and changes the lock. That is pursuant to this law. That is illegal. So,
Which is how many landlords have been pursuing evictions because of the moratorium. I think this is relevant for a number of reasons besides the obvious reasons, which is throughout this process, in our experience and experience of our colleagues, the tenants who were able to kind of work something out with their landlords, they were typically still in the space. And that's because they had some degree of leverage. Landlords wanted their space back. They wanted some certainty as to what was going to happen with their space. And they knew that there was an indefinite moratorium in place. They weren't sure when they were going to be able to regain their space without some kind of deal. And many were hesitant to employ self-help or didn't know if that was going to work. Now there's kind of a timetable, right? There's an end date, even if it's May 1st. That's only 2 months away. It's really important at this point for tenants, in our view, to kind of take stock of where they're at. And if they don't believe that they're going to be able to stay in the space, or they believe that they need very specific terms to be able to stay in the space, now is kind of the time where they really should be making that last push to resolve things. The unfortunate reality is after we get past May 1st, as tenants are evicted, not only are they going to be evicted, but landlords or many landlords are probably going to try to go after the money that they feel is available to them. I mean, this depends obviously on a case-by-case basis, but the only way to fully protect against that is to sign some kind of agreement with your landlord that has releases so that moving forward, whether it's your business or you as an individual, if you've guaranteed the lease, have some legal certainty moving forward And we think that process has a far more clearly delineated timetable now that this law has been signed.
Sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of businesses. I do think we're with the rollout of the vaccine. There are a lot of businesses that are starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. And even if you think the business prospects are going to improve dramatically over the next couple of weeks or next couple of months, I think what Lee said is still right, because you have some leverage to negotiate right now. Don't wait until May 1st if you're one of those businesses to reach out to the landlord. You have a window now to be proactive. So get out in front of it, and I think you're probably not going to get better terms on May 1st than you would right now. So if you think there's some appetite to negotiate, I think this is the time.
Yeah. So look, the unfortunate reality is that there will be litigation between landlords and tenants in the next year and the years to come over what's happened in the past year. We're going to really closely monitor that litigation as more and more cases start to get litigated, start to get decided, and we'll be back in touch with updates as to what's going on in that field. But for now, have a great week.
Thank you.